Post-traumatic stress is a normal, predictable response to someone being traumatized. And as ugly as that outcome can be, it is a normal, predictable response. It is not, in fact, a disordered response in any way. If you put 100 people through a situation and 100 of them come out traumatized, that doesn't seem disordered in any way to me. It seems like a normal response. I know that the Veterans Administration will put these figures forward and they'll say, well, only 13% come back with, this trauma. I don't know where they get those numbers from. If you look at the people who go through certain events, they all come back impacted, traumatically impacted. What that looks like may be different, and how they cope afterwards, whether they cope adaptively or maladaptively, that may vary. But the trauma is pretty much across the board.
And what impact does this little d, the word disorder, have on many of the returning vets?
It has an enormous impact, and the impact is that, first of all, it causes them to believe in the idea that they are in fact mentally ill, they have a disorder that they can't get away from, and it allows them to become caught up in this endless cycle of treatment failure, medicine failure, addiction, all the different things that go along with that, just this endless cycle of disappointment. It's a paradigm that creates an industry. It takes normal human suffering and it turns it into a money-making prospect, because people who 100 years ago, if they had this kind of a trauma, would talk to their fellow soldiers, talk to their parents, talk to their friends, talk to their pastor, work it out, figure out a way to move on. And instead they're going to their doctor and getting medicated. They're trained while they're on active duty very, very systematically that if you come back and you have problems, you need to go to the doctor. It literally starts in theater. There's Armed Forces Network has these big screens in the dining facilities and the galleys that say, when you get home, if you have these problems, go to your doctor. And then once the person goes to the doctor, of course, they're labeled. And once they're labeled, the treatment begins. And the treatment is, of course, medical treatment, and almost inevitably involves some kind of pharmaceutical response. And that's where the situation tends to start rolling downhill.